Okay, so now let's take a look at another example of how to do the IELTS introduction. And for this one, we're looking at a situation where we have two charts. Right here, we have a bar chart that's talking about men and women, and we have a pie chart. Okay, and so a lot of students ask me, well, how do you do it if you have two charts? Does your method, does your strategy change? Does your strategy change, Keno? And I say no. Right, the strategy, it doesn't matter if you are looking at a pie chart, a multiple chart, it doesn't matter. The strategy that I'm teaching you is consistent for every single type that you're going to do. So it doesn't matter. Okay, you can look at the examples that I'm using and teaching you how to do, and just follow my examples, and you're going to be okay. You can be consistent in your method, consistent in your strategy. All right, and that's going to help you to do a good job. So let's take a look here. Up here is telling us in general what we're looking at. It says the bar chart below shows the numbers of men and women attending various evening courses at an adult education center in the year 2009. The pie chart gives you information about the ages of these course participants. Now, as I've said, you cannot just simply take this information and just repeat it as your introduction. You cannot do that. You can't. Okay, I shouldn't have to explain to you why, right? But I will anyway. It's called plagiarism. Okay, if you just take these words and copy them, you're plagiarizing. You're not using your own words. More than that, you're not showing any English variety at all. You're not showing any English ability. And it's an English test. And even more so, students that don't understand English very well, what they do is just copy this information here. That's what they do. They just copy this. They just copy this information right here. They copy it. Right? That's what students do who don't know English. They just copy that information. Okay? And that's why they get low scores. That's why they get scores of 4 or 5. Okay? You got to show English ability. You have to show English ability. So when we look at this, we're looking at it, and we have two types we have to describe. First, we're going to write a sentence. Describing. We're going to write a sentence describing what the bar chart is about, and then we're going to write a sentence describing what the pie chart is about. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at that, and you'll get a good idea of what the pie chart and the pie chart and the bar chart are about. So let's write our first sentence. We know we're dealing with an evening course in adult education. When we look at it, we see we have 4 different categories: drama, painting, sculpture, language. We have the number of people on the bar chart going from 0 to 40. We have men and women. Okay? So we're going to make a sentence describing that. All right, so there's our first sentence for the bar chart. Okay, there's our first sentence for the bar chart. And then we have to have a second sentence that gives some general information about the pie chart. All right, so that's our introduction. All right, and here we have an introduction that is made up. We have an introduction that is made up of. We have an introduction that's made up of. A bar chart and a pie chart, and we have two sentences. So, like I told you, your introduction. The only time where really I get into introductions that are composed of two sentences are when we have two different graphs we have to look at, or two charts we have to look at, like in this situation here. All right, but that is our basic introduction that we can do. As you can see, I wrote one sentence describing the bar chart. I wrote another sentence describing the pie chart. All right, and so there we go. There we have it. So I will talk to you soon, and thank you so much for your participation. All right, talk to you soon.